planning board meeting for Tuesday, May 30th, 7 o'clock, a little bit past 7 now, so we'll get started. Why don't we get right down to Howard Ave?
Yeah.
So, obviously, Sean's not here, which isn't great, but if you guys want to come forward and
Yeah, we got everything that we said we had.
Yes.
okay.
That he had for us, yeah.
What we did was, my name is Brian Dunn with MBL Land Development and Permitting, for the record.
Yep.
With offices at 770 Broadway, Suite 6 in Rainham, Massachusetts. We had, the last meeting, Ted Leisinger from my office was here, and there was a discussion that we had with Sean Hardy after that meeting,
Okay.
that you wanted us to detail the waivers
Right,
and show what we were actually asking for.
okay,
So we updated the plans, we detailed the waivers,
okay,
and, gave this to him back on May 19th. We
okay,
emailed it out to him. We've called Sean Hardy 3 times with no response or return phone call in regards to this. So it is my understanding, Mr. Curie, that we've addressed whatever the concerns were of the board at that time.
okay,
If you remember, when we originally started this process, it was, okay, here's a Form A type of a subdivision. No, we don't want a Form A subdivision, we want a Form C. And then, when we were at the meeting, the Form C meeting, you said, okay, well, we want to have a list of waivers. We're going to grant all the waivers
right,
that you would normally grant on a subdivision. So we detailed them on a set of plans. We filed the application for a Form C subdivision, which is a formal public hearing. And we put all the detailed waivers on the plans, waiving certain sections. Sean took a look at it. Other members of the board took a look at it. Somehow the mindset changed and said, okay, well, we're not gonna grant all of the.
well, I think we just wanted a little bit more specific.
It wasn't
Oh,
detailed enough,
right,
exactly.
that's all.
You
Okay.
just listed a bunch of waivers without giving us any details. Some of the waivers you were asking for was actually stuff that you were providing in your documents, so we asked that you be more thorough
It was vague.
about the
Yeah,
actual
because
waivers.
we were waiving a whole bunch of sections, and we put that on the plan
We
too.
itemized them, yeah.
So now we itemize them a little bit more.
Okay,
Instead of saying the entire section, we detailed them, and then we said, like bike paths and wider pavements. And so we detailed that and said what we're really asking for and what we're going to provide. So we've done that.
okay, all right.
So
Do you have a
now,
copy of that?
yes, this was emailed to the planning board
Okay,
and to Sean on May 19th.
okay, all right. Okay,
So we've done that. We've done what we've been asked to do.
yeah,
Unfortunately, Sean is not here
I know.
to corroborate that, but this is a 2-lot subdivision we're talking about. We're not talking about 2,000 lots here.
Right,
So really, what we'd
Okay.
like is, look at the waivers, discuss the waivers, grant the waivers that we've detailed, and let's get going on this thing.
okay, all right, okay.
Because if Sean had an issue with it, he would have returned 3 phone calls.
But I would, yeah, well, with that being said, I'm not gonna grant anything without even, because this is, I'd like to see this. I haven't even seen this, to be honest with you. Okay, I don't know if you guys have seen it. So, with
Okay,
that,
so when
So-
we email things to the Holbrook Planning Board, these are not being disseminated to you people.
I'm not, honestly, I haven't seen this, so I don't know the whole,
I don't recall getting this, because I usually forward it right out. I'm gonna give you
and
mine.
Deb's usually pretty good about getting it out to us, so. But Sean has seen that, obviously, because he's.
'Cause
It
went
was,
to
it
him.
was emailed to Sean, it was emailed to the,
Okay.
John.
and what's the email address that I should be sending?
19th?
Yes.
Mm.
Is that it?
Oh, good catch.
Okay, all right. So, now, has Sean responded to this email? He has not. Okay.
It's May 19th, that's like almost 3 weeks ago now.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, today's the
Oh,
today's the
It is,
19th.
Yeah.
Today's the
it's not
30th.
30th.
Today's the 30th.
So
Yeah.
19th, that's 11 days.
Okay.
Last time I did the math. I don't
Well,
think
10,
that's-
11
Yeah,
days,
all
10
right,
days.
I understand.
Okay.
But the other gentleman that was here, they were gonna kinda go through this and get this straightened
Right,
out
so
with Sean.
I was on the phone with Ted and with Sean. We discussed, he goes, all I wanna do is, if you're requesting a waiver, if the street pavement is supposed to be 40 feet and you're providing 20, just say you're providing 20.
Okay.
So that's what we've done. So
Okay.
we've said, all right, like, one of them is like bike paths.
Right.
And environmental impact
Right.
statements, or access to abutting property.
Okay.
We don't need that, we're not gonna develop past the
Right.
Brockton Edison easement.
Right, okay.
So it's
Yeah.
been detailed to show what we're asking for. We highlighted it in blue, so it was easier to read.
Right, okay. Right,
That's the
good.
part that Sean asked for, that we had done, now we done that,
Okay.
that he asked for, so we did that.
Okay. So with that being said, let's, you know, I don't wanna make a move without talking with Sean, because I haven't seen him, spoke to him.
How do you
or
get a
anything.
hold of him?
I'm not sure. Deb,
I could get a hold of him.
Okay.
I will get a hold of him.
so
Give me
let's,
his-
let's just make sure,
So he's not showing up tonight?
he's not here, so I don't.
Right, here it is.
So why don't we get to Sean, Deb?
Yep. And I do have it. I do have that email. I can
Okay,
send it
all
out.
right, okay.
You got
So-
it? Okay.
So let's,
I don't know where it's anymore. Yep.
I think at this point, let's get in touch with Sean, see his stance on this and move, you know? I know you're frustrated and, you know,
We're not frustrated, we have,
I'd be
we have
frustrated.
owners who are frustrated because it's been taking so long.
Right.
We came to the first couple of meetings, we were told
Mhm.
of way of doing this, waive everything, so on and so
Well,
on.
you know,
We
right.
did that, and then we submitted those plans, and then there was a change of mind and saying, okay, we don't wanna waive all of them,
Right.
a la carte.
We never said waive everything. We said
Right.
review and request the waivers that you proposed to waive. What you did was waived everything.
Right.
So as we
No,
review the
excuse me, I
waivers-
wanna be very, very clear on this. You're incorrect, because Bob was here, we came back into the room after the meeting was closed, and we asked specifically to Mr. Callahan, do you mean, do the Form C subdivision waive all of the subdivision rules and regulations, including the public hearing, posting the public hearing, abutter notification, all of those things, and everybody said yes. So we took that as waiving all of the regulations.
yeah, but that, I think you're kind of,
Yeah.
but what you did is just basically, yeah, just waive section 4.2, section 4.2, 4.21, it was like all of it, it wasn't like, you basically just said, yeah, waive everything, and that's not, we were looking for something a little bit more specific, and obviously, this is what,
Right, and we put on the plans that exact
right,
verbiage on the
Correct.
plans previously, other than,
Correct.
okay, the reduction of pavement from 40 to 20 feet.
Right.
So we didn't say, okay, we're asking from 40 to 20 feet, but we
Okay.
put those other those sections and subsections on the plans.
okay.
So
So-
we
so-
did that,
So with this being said, you said that you and Ted.
Ted. We
and-
were on the phone
and
with Sean.
And this is what you came
That's
up
the
with.
result of
Okay,
the
all right.
conversation.
Let us connect with Sean, make sure this is, that he's seen this, and that he's okay with this, and then I think it would be in the best interest then to move. Because I'm not gonna do anything without talking to Sean. Because you guys had the conversation, you didn't have any conversation with me.
Can I ask you a question? So if you speak to Sean, say within the next 3-4 days,
Mm-hmm.
are you then gonna sign the plan so that we can get rolling on it? Because it's still a 21-day appeal period. you know?
Right.
So
We could get together and sign it if Sean says,
If this is something, yeah, I mean.
if Sean says he doesn't have a problem with it, it's not a big deal getting us
Well,
together to sign.
unfortunately, you
But
can't,
that,
you
the
can't-
letter came from Sean, and that's the answer to his letter, wasn't that, am I correct, Brian, saying that?
we haven't gotten a letter
He-
from
From
Sean.
Sean, okay.
We've only had a conversation with him at the planning board meeting
Right.
and subsequently
between
that, to
and
put those-
afterwards. So he said,
the way
okay,
they are.
instead of
That's
waiving
what I-
everything à la carte, say, I want to waive this section,
Right.
however, we're going to provide,
Okay, I see what happened.
Yeah,
And I just want to get him to sign off on this portion of it, that's
Yeah.
all. That's all.
But, like, we don't have to wait for another meeting in order to do all of this. If he says the okay, we can get together
Yeah, I think.
to sign, right?
Well, the thing is, you can't sign,
Yeah.
since we filed a Form C subdivision, you can't sign until the clerk
Right.
signs the appeal after the
Right.
21 days.
Right.
So we have to get to you saying,
We gotta get
okay
the
for the
we're gonna
plan,
get the part A,
okay for the
right, part
waivers,
Yeah, you-
okay, we're gonna issue
Correct.
the subdivision, we're gonna sign the subdivision, put the documents together, get over to the clerk's office, and then start the 21 days.
So I would seem to think, we would get an answer back from Sean within 48 hours.
Yes, I'll get it for you tonight.
And then once we speak with Sean and get an email back from him saying, yep, this looks good, this doesn't look good, or whatever he wants to say about it.
But that's the problem, there's a communication gap here, so far apart that A, B, C
Well,
just doesn't come together.
Right. Unfortunately, he's not here. I
I
mean,
know, but
it's,
it was his idea to do it this way, and it
would
was,
you want to go a different way? You want to have hearings and everything?
I don't know how to go, I don't know which way to go.
And then that takes another, by the time you post everything, you're looking at 2 months just to have the hearing just about. By the time you put in the newspapers, let their butters know and stuff like that. I'll go that way too, it doesn't matter. But now you're not doing anything for about 2.5 months. And then after that, if you have a hearing,
I'm not
this is, we're trying to do things somewhat quickly, and unfortunately tonight, what do you want me to say? He's not here.
So if you hear back from Sean, say, by the end of the week.
I would hope to hear from, let's say,
Yeah, say by the end of the week. Say-
Yeah.
By the end of the week, then,
Yeah,
then I would
You can
think by
post
like
another
Monday or
meeting.
Tuesday, you'd know where you stand.
Because we can post a meeting
Yeah.
and meet specifically for this project.
Actually, and I wanted to say thank you for doing that, because I think that's why we're here tonight too,
I thought,
specifically for this project.
and I
So I wanted to say thank you for doing that.
right, and
because-
I thought Sean was gonna be here, and it's not his fault. I don't know, he might have had a, personal thing, and not, it's not
Right,
pointing any
stuff
fingers at
happens.
anybody, right. So, I think at this point, I would think we'd hear from him to go over this portion of things by the end of the week, and then by the end of the week, we could post something and move, I don't wanna hold you
So
guys up.
you're anticipating maybe having another meeting next week on this?
If we need to, yeah, I don't.
Well, we need to have a vote, and we need to vote on the waivers and vote on the project as a whole.
Correct, right. And if-
Every single waiver.
Correct.
We need a vote on.
Right, and it's not just something,
And that's gonna take a few minutes to do
yeah,
that.
It's gonna
right,
be a
because,
full meeting.
honestly,
Right.
we need to go through this, that's all. And like, we vote on, we go over every single waiver, and then at the end, we just vote on the whole waiver system altogether as one. We don't have to vote on every single, we
Yeah,
vote
you
on the
can
whole
say,
thing.
okay,
the whole
Yeah.
package.
You
Right,
can,
yeah.
you can make
Right.
make a motion that we approve the
Correct.
subdivision with the waivers written by MBL, signed by Brian.
Correct.
Da-da-da-da-da. All those in favor of the waivers, aye. All
Correct.
Nay?
Right.
Nay. All in favor of approving the subdivision with the waivers?
Right.
Boom, done.
Yep.
And then after the decision goes to her,
Eh.
she writes the decision,
Well,
goes
now-
over to the clerk.
We have to write up our,
Yeah, we write that, and then it goes over to the town clerk,
Right.
and then she stamps it, dates it, and then the appeal process happens.
Okay, so how long will that take after you
To
close?
to
write
write
the
the orders
decision.
of conditions?
Yes.
It shouldn't last, it should be,
this
know,
one,
we
I don't think
just-
the orders would be that
no.
Right.
involved
The
in this.
the reason why I'm asking that is because we've got an owner that is saying, okay, why is it taking so long? It's only 2 lots. And we've been trying to tell, talking to their attorneys,
Right.
telling them, this is what's going on.
Well, the
Going
attorneys
back
want to
and-
know that
Right.
there's a process to
Right.
it. It's not.
But the thing is, we're getting the phone calls all the
Right.
time. They're
Right.
getting the phone calls from the owners
Right.
saying, oh, do I have to come out of, where are they, New York
New York.
somewhere?
Right.
Do I have to come in from New York to go to this meeting? I'm like, no, you don't have to do that, it'll be fine.
If it was just a street that was already paved and existing, and you were just dividing a set of land in half, it'd be an A&R. But
Mm.
because there's the not unpaved paper road, it's technically, it's creating a subdivision that makes it a little bit more process, but this is the faster route than doing the public hearings, doing the announcements, going, that can take,
Right.
all set, 3
Yeah,
months.
I totally understand that. The thing is, I want to follow
Right.
the right process
Right, correct.
for the posting of the decision
Correct.
with the clerk. After the 21 days, no appeal, God willing.
Yep.
I go back with the Mylars, they sign the Mylars, and then I schedule a meeting and come back to see you, to have you sign the
The
plans,
Mylars, right. Yep,
so that we can record. the
correct,
plans.
correct.
Exactly. And we're trying to be as thorough as possible so nothing, you know, comes back. There's all the ties, you know, Ts, Is, they're all done. You know, we're trying to make sure that the steps are very thorough
Right.
for your clients so that it's done the right way and everyone's happy at the end of the day. And it's the way the town wants it going forward.
So you don't have a problem coming back like next week or?
If, yeah.
If you, if we'd be so kind to do that, thank you.
Next Tuesday, the
Thank you.
meeting, can we get on the agenda for next Tuesday?
Well, I don't know
We
what
have
day,
one right now.
because
Yeah, we don't have one scheduled.
We don't have one
we don't have one scheduled, but we'll get it scheduled
No.
for sometime next week.
Okay.
If everything works with Sean and go from there.
Yeah.
Depends on whatever.
Okay.
Yep.
Through the chair, Richard Graham.
Yes.
I haven't seen any of the plans,
Mhm.
and I've been asking if I could see the plans. So I don't know if there's a set of plans that I can see.
Yeah, I don't know if Brian wants to, I mean, do you want to show Mr. Graham what you're thinking about and,
Yeah, I don't,
Yeah, all right.
you know?
There is a set of, in our hands, public documents for the town.
Yes.
Updated, the
There is.
updated ones.
Yes.
yeah.
Set of plans you have?
Yeah, so this is the plan, this is the plan.
Okay.
And I
I've
can,
asked
and I
and I
can,
haven't found.
Yeah.
and I,
So
and I
that's
can
what
leave
happens
these,
here.
I can leave them with the planning
Want to look at them
board
outside?
afterwards. So the intent is to, here's the entire lot area right here.
Mhm.
The intent is to subdivide it, one lot here, keep the house here,
Right.
number 2 lot, number 3 lot.
Yeah.
And then the road will be built from about here, back down here with the big cul-de-sac
Okay, that's
for the
what I
fire
want.
safety.
That's what I was wondering about. So when we're talking the paving, you're only talking about paving from here
Now,
down,
I'm talking about paving from here down.
from there down.
So all of this here stays natural.
This is your piece out here?
Yes, I'm here and here.
Yeah.
Right.
As you
So that's
notice-
not, so none of this over here is affecting you.
I see that.
We're past you.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the whole road should be 40 foot wide. I would think the road would be
Well, the only
22
problem,
in the middle. I know that's why the waves.
that's,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's-
and you know what, that's the existing lot, I mean, that's the existing road, you know?
I believe the existing road is here, even though I know these gentlemen are saying different.
Well, I would think.
Okay,
But
we're
they-
talking about two different things, because we have an existing road that's paved. It's not paved to any of the subdivision rules or regulations. However, we do have a 40-foot right-of-way, and it is a approved, constructed way
Right.
in the town,
Right.
but not totally constructed in
Yeah.
front of this area of the lot.
Right, and there's house lots across the street
Right here,
also.
yeah.
Yeah, those are the ones that
So,
originally built.
so this is where the horse farm is over
Right.
here,
Yeah,
The
if you
old-
wanna call it a horse farm.
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
Right, and this is their driveway that bends, comes right in like this,
Mhm.
into the house in this area here.
But what I'm concerned with, depending on which way we're going to talk about it. This is the land court, which matches this way. Oops, excuse me. Just make sure I'm saying it right. Which matches this way, okay?
Yeah, and
And
we show that land court,
Right.
registered land, non-registered land.
so if you look at the land court, you will see here, snow.
Yeah,
The way goes as far as Georgetown.
What, the public,
Road, yeah. Which would match back in 1900s, this document.
yeah, but that doesn't mean it's like, that doesn't mean it's paved, it doesn't mean it's a paved road, that just means it's a right of way.
So what you're saying is that
The road stops there.
this would be Snow's?
Yes, this would be Snow's.
That's Snow's.
Yeah.
And you're saying the road stops here?
Right.
But there's gotta be some type of easement, because you gotta get to this house and this
Yeah,
house, right?
there's no record easement. So this right of way,
Is that a paper
this
road?
right of way on the deeds and the plans comes all the way down here.
It's like a paper road.
Yeah, and this is only a portion of, and this is back in 1936.
Correct, which is
So,
matching,
and
matching these dates.
And the thing is, that- and you would only know this if you were a surveyor like we are, that when you go to land court, and this is a land court plan, the land court is only interested in the registered portion and not the non-registered portion. So they're only gonna show the registered portion of
Which
the
is what they
land.
show on.
Exactly.
Mhm. Which is showing how it happened.
Howard Lane, or Howard,
Howard Ave.
they call it Howard.
It was Howard Lane, it is now Howard Ave. Yeah.
But they're only gonna show that portion of the land court section. They're not gonna show the entire land. And I have no idea where this deed came from, or how it relates to, or what this is, or where it came from. I don't even know what it is.
You don't know what this is from the
It
town?
looks like it's a vote of the town, but it doesn't really, there's no,
Does this
there's
maybe
no
ring a bell
seal.
of what you brought to a meeting prior?
Yes, this is what
Okay.
I've seen.
Okay. It is that condensed.
So it's
Makes it easy.
what are you looking,
I'm just making sure that we're gonna say that this is an extension of Howard Ave. Go ahead and divide it, be done with it. The other concern, it was the entrance, because
Right.
we do wanna be fire safety, whatever way you wanna put it,
yeah.
about in here.
Now, Brian, did they finally realize that over in here in the corner, that, there's like that brick wall?
I felt
Is that kinda on town property?
The stone wall there? Yeah, that's on the lot
When you
line.
come in, right?
Yeah,
It's actually in the right of way.
it's in the right of way, this part here, but when it comes to
Okay,
the
that's
corner,
part I'm
it
trying
comes to
to-
the corner, it's on the radius, it's on the lot line.
Right.
When it comes to that corner, going to the left. Yeah,
So what width did you come up with here?
I'm not talking about this part, he's asking
Yeah,
this
but
part of the wall in here.
But I'm asking now, it's what, did you come up with a width because of that stone wall?
Well, that stone wall goes all the way around that bend, I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
only
in the
like
right of
20
way when you
yeah,
go in.
right.
it's
That's only like
on the
25
lot
feet
line
wide.
when you go to the left.
Okay, it should be 29 by 1900.
So is that because of the wall that's there?
That's why
That's
I've
the
always
way-
had
That's the way it
Yeah.
shrunk because of the wall?
that wall extra.
I don't even, that's really not this yet.
So, I mean, this is a land court plan. Like I said before, they're only gonna be talking about what the land court is worried about. They're not gonna show the rest of the subdivision. You know, we've got record information, the right of way comes all the way down. It doesn't stop over here like this gentleman is saying. So I have to rely on the research that we have.
I think the point is the road, right? You're looking for the road, the width of the road. Because the subdivision, that's why we had them file for the subdivision, because they're extending the current road to build a subdivision. That's why we went this route. It's not just an A&R, it's an actual subdivision form and process. So are you more worried about the road getting widened along the whole way to meet the new standards?
That would be extreme for them.
Right, I mean,
Let's be realistic.
Well, that's what we
It's-
discussed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's not fair.
I mean,
to-
they're upgrading enough so that the fire trucks can do a U-turn and come
Right.
around.
And he had the chief come down and drive the largest of their truck down there and said, hey, we would have to back out this whole road. If you could do a turnaround down the end,
Right, then you can.
it'd be great.
Great,
And that's why you
As long
guys
as-
did accommodate.
as long as we get this corner squared
So
away.
you're concerned about the corner, that's your issue, your
Yeah,
big concern,
yeah,
I
yeah.
should say.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that town property or is that private?
It's actually been in like 1940,
Yeah.
it became, it's on public.
1900s.
Yeah, it would, like, but it became it's a town road.
Public road.
It's the town
It's
has
a public
taken,
road.
the town has taken that
Could we
road.
put
Yeah.
as part of our recommendations that is part of
Brian, is there any way of,
It's cleaned up a little
on
bit
that
or something?
corner, making that a bit wider?
Without doing land taking?
Without-
No.
Well, I
It's just
thought-
a matter of making it so it is what it is. And if it's 29 feet, which I see the town owning, then let's,
Make it 29 feet.
and I mean that by not worried about pavement, but just, I think you're the one that took your truck out.
I did.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
So I think,
So you understand what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be
I don't think the
unrealistic.
issue is here. The issue is here on this person's.
Apparently, because I've been trying to figure out where that line is. This by land court, I do that all the time unfortunately, should go right straight across, should just come, and that line should be definite.
Right. I think that line is secure. If you're coming out of Howard Ave, the property on the left, I think is secure. I think the problem is the property on the right, which would be the old Chemicino's house.
Right, and they have all that stone wall
And
in
that
their
stone
land.
wall,
It's
It's in the right, it's in the right of way.
That's the
That whole
issue, is
wall
that
would
stone
have to
wall,
move.
basically.
And that wall would, technically would have to be relocated over 3 feet,
Or eliminated.
Or eliminate.
or, well,
Yeah, just, and then, and again, you went down the road. Right now, all the growth that's going on right here, it's a blind corner. If you're not going slow, you're getting into it.
Okay.
So,
Right.
but like I said, I agree with these guys. They should be able to do what they want,
Right, but you,
Yeah.
and I, from the get-go, that was one of the big concerns, was the entrance.
Right. Satisfied.
And what we did was,
Yeah,
we
right,
satisfied the
yeah.
fire department, so we spoke with the chief, and in lieu of, we said we would look at this, so we did some more survey to find out what was going on.
Right.
We figured out what was going on, and then we said, okay, we really can't change this without changing everybody's front yards.
Right. Now, there's a pole there on that corner too, right? So
Exactly.
it
Yes.
screws everything up.
Now, you were asking me about a pole, and I ended up, maybe it was my fault. I started talking about a pole over
On that
here.
corner, right.
Well, we
There's a
also-
pole,
there's a-
there's a pole right
there's a
here.
pole on the
Yeah, but
corner.
there's a pole on the opposite side, which
There
was.
is, right here.
Which used to be a tie pole, which is now being used to feed
Then
these
there's
houses.
another pole here,
But this
another
pole-
pole here, another pole
Yeah.
here.
I don't think the pole will be showing right there. That pole will be,
The pole is at the end of the stone wall, right there, see it? On the
which,
property line.
Yeah, that's where the pole is.
I think there is a pole there too.
yeah, I know the pole is there, and,
is a pole, definitely.
and there's also a pole
Where
out here, which is
exactly.
the other problem. But even with the state, I had that
Right,
problem.
we have that pole here,
Yeah.
we show it there.
Yeah, but that's blocking the view. I mean, it's actually, but
So-
again, the state already was
so-
talking with them.
So a question would be, even if the road coming into Howard Ave gets widened, you're still gonna have an issue with that pole. Right?
Yes.
Yep.
So does it just mean that we try to ask the DPW to cut back on that brush to help, make that turn a little bit better?
On just one side or both sides?
I mean, I'm sure we could do.
If it's-
We
if
could
it's
ask.
The brush pile would be on this side. That's
Right.
what-
Well, that's the worst brush part,
Right.
yes. But then it also makes the restriction over on this side for making the,
Now, is all the brush on the town line, or is it on residential?
So that's the thing,
Because if
that's
it's
the other
residential, you
that's,
can't.
you would have to like,
We can't cut that back.
Right.
That's the
you gotta be
DPW.
careful, you
I
might
overhang,
trim in
you can
people's
see-
yards.
Right,
Yeah.
so I think your only safety thing there is the corner where your finger is, like a little
Okay.
bit up, yeah.
if they're saying
Right here.
that stone wall,
Yeah.
if you can cut back on the other side of that stone wall.
Yeah. And that might be,
And that would definitely, because
in-
prior, if you go, if I'm looking at this roughly without measuring it, you'll end up seeing that this, jeepers, it's gotta be to the edge of the driveway,
Mm.
which there is quite a few feet
And that
down.
might be just, honestly, the person that lives there probably doesn't even go in that backyard on the other side of that wall, and that's where all the trees and overhang are, I would imagine. So it's not like they're doing anything back there. So what I'm imagining could very possibly happen if the DPW director went down to the house and said, listen, there's a safety issue in the back of, your property. What we'd like to do is take care of it and clear it and open it up because of that turn, it's not, and now you're kind of working with the people.
Right.
And
Like I said,
also,
it might be advantageous to do this side too, because there's a fence and brush, and then when you plow snow, because the width is so narrow, you're plowing the snow here, and then it makes it hard to make the plow turn.
Where do you live on this?
I live right here.
Boudreaux's house,
On that side, yeah, okay.
right?
No, excuse me, that's his boat, so I'm right here, big
Oh.
I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Good catch, very good.
Right, and I mean, the last time we revisited this and was talking about this is that that corner was no longer on the table because we gave the fire chief a
Well, that's what I'm
means-
trying to
means-
say, if the DPW can go down there,
Right.
clean it up,
Yeah.
and work
Yeah, if
it
it's
that
a-
way.
If it's an
You know what I
overgrowth
mean?
thing,
And
Well,
the
So
other
you
part
need
was-
to be
They
careful
have the right,
of
they have the right to
property
trim it
lines.
back for a safety.
Because the
thing.
DPW start taking
Well,
down people's
And that's
trees.
why I'm asking, you know, you
Ask
get the
the homeowner
DPW director,
first.
and
It's
they
okay.
ask, because of the
Exactly.
safety issue, is it okay if we do some trimming? It might be on your property, and just have the homeowner sign something saying, yes, it's okay
Yeah.
for you to do that. That's, to be honest with you, that's the way to clear up that issue, I think.
Right.
I would agree, Paul. I would agree that would be the.
You know?
And that's it for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So, and we'll reach out to superintendent,
Okay.
see if he can send a crew down there and to, you know, clean up. And you know what, to be honest with you, if there's even other issues, I mean, that's why we have a DPW, you know, if you have any other issues, you know, the DPW guys, they're good guys, they'll, if you got an issue,
I have.
just ask.
The problem is when they turn around to me and says, okay, you show me where the footage is. Where is the actual,
Right.
Well, that could be our next step. Then, once we get this going, then we have a
We can,
plan,
you
then we
know,
can hold a
when we're
plan
starting to
and
do some of the
show.
other surveys we need
You know,
to do.
Bring it
You
down
know,
and
what
show.
we- and
and
I'll
show
talk to
Reggie.
Bob, and maybe we can, you know, stake out the property line limit, you know, the right of way,
Right.
so we know
Maybe
what's.
that might be a decent idea if you could, then he has an idea a little bit, and then we would know a little bit more about that brick wall too.
We know where it is located and how it relates to
Right.
the property line, just not on the ground.
Right.
So, on the ground, you know, thinking about the plan and looking at it, two different things.
Right.
So sometimes, that's why we need to stake things out,
Okay.
and then everybody says, oh, yeah, now I understand.
And once you stake it with a survey and you officially put your lines down, that opens a, well, that just opens a whole.
They ripped that right out of
See, then you're gonna say, then we'll say, okay, your stone wall's in the right of way,
You have two options, either remove
move it,
it, or it's gonna be
or it's gonna
removed.
be removed.
Well, I think your first plan of action would be to see if somebody can talk to that homeowner, you know,
Get
with the
line
house,
to
with
clear.
the house facing South Franklin Street and say to
Yeah.
him, how you doing, I'm so-and-so from the DPW, you know, there's a danger on this corner, we want to trim it back. Is it okay? I think
I don't have a
that's,
problem with that. I don't have a problem with you going down and get the, you know, DPW engineer and have him come down, take a look at it. Let's
Right.
discuss it, put some paint marks on the road, and just trim it back. Yeah, that's all part of the game,
you
you
know,
know?
but it's just, I think it just makes sense anyways. I mean, you do want to have a safe street, you know?
move the
And I
pole,
think that-
it's,
And I think that the safety, you know, the safety issues have been addressed. So
Right.
now, yeah, it takes a little bit for the fire truck to come around that corner
Right.
and other people who are coming there, but now the fire truck doesn't have to back up all the
Right.
way
Yeah.
out to 37. The fire truck can come
And
down
it's-
there, the
No,
ambulance
he's
can
turning
come
around.
and turn around now.
It's not just a fire truck, it's an ambulance.
It's
too.
an ambulance
You
too,
know.
so we're talking about all safety equipment that
I
possibly.
gotcha. I got you.
So this is a benefit to
Right.
that street.
Right. No, I understand that. But, you know, my travels this week, I'll see if Benji can take a peek down there too.
Okay.
Even if they
Hey,
just
have
ask,
them get back with us.
and just have them ask the homeowner if, you know, they mind if they trim back some of that,
Okay.
you know?
And then you'll get back to me if they're gonna be meeting whatever day next
So,
week.
yeah, so hopefully, you know, we'll find out from Sean, we'll see what he says about this issue.
If you could have Sean just go home until we get, if there
That's
is
fine
a,
too,
if
right.
there is a.
But I mean, I still want to have Sean say, hey,
We just.
it's fine, what's
Straighten
been
it out.
written, what you figured out, you know, that works, and then we'll go. from
I was thinking since he hadn't called us back, that he was tickled pink with it.
there. Yeah, see, I haven't heard from him either, so, yeah, so, we'll go that route, and
Okay.
go from there.
All right.
Very good.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay,
We'll see you later.
thank you. How are ya?
Good, how you doing?
Good.
I'm Mike Ahern, 36 King Road.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry I'm late.
That's okay, yeah, that's fine.
So I'm looking at buying this parcel from the town because it was a tax foreclosure.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in the initial steps. We have one more step to go, and that's to close on the deal on June 16th.
Yeah.
And what I was hoping to do, it's a big site, it's 3.2 acres, was to do like a multi-unit building on a site.
Okay, what do you mean by multi-building?
Well, initially, we were hoping to do like a cluster development, because to get into the site is narrow.
Yeah.
So we were hoping to do smaller lots. It's a R3, so it's 20,000, but I'm not gonna be able to get the right of way into 20,000 square foot lots.
Okay, alright,
It does have a brook in the middle of it.
right,
The wetlands guy figures there's about 40,000 square feet of upland. And we could chop it all up and everything, but then I'd have to displace a lot of wetlands. I think it's up to 5,000 square feet per lot that you can displace.
so do you have any maps or anything?
I think we only had this for 10 days, so I couldn't
Okay.
get a survey
All
crew
right.
out there that quick.
So I mean, we would need something,
Yeah,
That's all.
so that's not gonna happen by the 16th, so I'm either gonna move forward or I'm gonna pull out and the town won't get the sale, because I can't pay $100,000 for something that might not be, I might not be able to do anything
Well, we're
with it.
looking to possibly have something next week. Would that be enough time right now?
I won't get a survey back by then. These guys are,
Yeah.
with all the refis and everything,
They're straight
we cannot
Yeah.
get guys.
I mean,
I called every surveyor within the region.
yeah,
I got a wetlands guy,
yeah,
but he can't draw it.
right, you can't do anything for that.
So when you say cluster, what, can you maybe
Well-
elaborate on that?
I did one in Situate where we did 5,000 square foot lots, which is what the street behind it is. They were all little lots, they're like 50 by, not even 5,000. But they're, where you do it on small lots, but you leave all the space as an open
Yeah.
space back to the community.
Are you talking single
Conservation.
home, single
That would be
dwellings?
single dwellings if I did a cluster. The other way would be to do one building, maybe like 4 two-bedroom units.
Like a condo?
Yeah, but it would be like a colonial style, so to fit the, the period of the community. That's the only options I really see that I could do that,
Yeah.
because the cost is prohibitive with the wetlands to just get a driveway in there. So the whole left side of that property, there is one part of the property is owned by the Conservation Commission. On the left side between those houses and the stone wall, they have it starts off with 20 feet and goes down and gets narrow at the end, and then it has like a kind of a triangle at the very end of it. It's a weird shaped lot. So I haven't talked to the Conservation Commission. I don't know anyone there, and haven't got that far yet. And I wouldn't mind talking, well, that's pretty dry, so maybe doing some kind of swap and saying, I'll give you all the rest of it and work it out or something like that.
yeah. Alright, it's just hard not to have a plan. in front
I'm
us.
aware of that, but they give you 30 days.
I mean, have you gone to the
do it.
assessors and actually try to get a plan that way?
The plan shows you nothing, though. It's just a box. Doesn't show you anything.
It doesn't show any wetlands or anything
No.
there?
Nope. Shows a little brook going through.
That's it.
That's it. There's not, believe me, if there was reference, I would have drawn it out for you.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. I have like 3 in the Ponce Valley survey I called every guy
Yeah,
within 10 miles. So
They're not-
They're not.
they're not
I went
doing-
as far as downtown Boston and went to Feldman, they wouldn't do it. And they do a lot for me in town. They said, we'll do it in about 5 weeks. And I get the same response from everybody.
Right.
And the
I mean,
problem is that they.
Like, unfortunately, that's kind of like the risk that you have with buying.
Yeah,
property
no, I'm aware of
option,
that.
you
I'm
know?
aware of that.
And it's like hard for us to
I just-
do or say anything if,
I'm not saying that I'm looking for a positive yes or no. I'm looking to find out if the planning board would be open to a possible small cluster development. I'm not looking to put 50 homes. I'm not looking to do a 40B.
but the only thing that scares me as far as the cluster thing is that we were gonna rewrite some of our bylaws, but all of that's been put off. You know what I mean? So like, in cluster housing was obviously discussed but those bylaws haven't changed yet.
Okay.
You know, so like, it's just hard
You would be
to,
able to put on a cluster, if you had 3.6 acres, the R3, you would divide that acreage by the square footage, and you would only be allowed to put as many units or houses as you could in that lot. So if it could handle 5 houses, your cluster could be 5 houses.
Yeah,
You
but I
can't
would-
put 20 houses
No, I would look,
condensed.
I wouldn't even look to do 5, I'd look to do 3. I'm not looking to do more than 3. And if I did one building, it would be
But you're
4.
just looking because of the lot sizes, you have to condense it and really ask for waivers for smaller lot sizes than R3.
Like a variance for smaller lot sizes, yes. And then have one common driveway in, because there's not enough
Well,
clear frontage.
technically you're building a subdivision by
Uh,
putting a road.
yeah.
It's a road
Yeah,
into driveways.
and like I said,
houses.
I've done it in Situate, and they made me do 20-foot wide, but that's like what I got. I got
What's the one
20
that we
feet.
have on the books for the shared driveway? Is that just one shared between two, or? We
Yeah,
do have
that's a
there's a lot on the
question,
books
yeah.
about a shared driveway.
It's up to 2.
Because we were
It's just-
talking about
that's-
another development,
that's just-
over
the
at,
Cedar Crest
Yeah,
one,
That's just 2, though.
just
up to
two.
2, right?
So,
It's only 2?
yeah, I mean, I prefer to get 3, but if it was 2, then I'd have to live with the 2. But
But you could
I'm
do
at,
shared
with all the
driveways.
fees they charge us, for the commissions and everything, we're at 130 for 2 lots, you know, it's, it-
65.
yeah, and then you got, the surveyor's gonna want his thing, the wetlands guy wants his money, and then the civil work.
Right.
So it's climbing really fast, so everyone's, I think it'll get one's not gonna make it,
No, you need-
because
you need
who's
two.
gonna buy that house when I build
3
it?
would probably be preferred, but
3 would be
2
preferred.
would
Oh,
probably
two
make
Or
some
you could
money.
do 2 as shared driveway easily enough.
Right.
And request a waiver for the
You don't know
small
whether
lot
it's-
sizes.
If you're only doing 2, you wouldn't even need small lots.
Well, you
Well,
would, because you
like
wouldn't have
75
frontage.
It'd be about 75.
Well, you wouldn't
Well,
have
then
frontage.
you
so
eliminate the
there'd be a
frontage
lot of
by
ways.
having the shared driveway, no?
No.
No,
You
the
still have to
driveway
have-
is
I have
not-
to have frontage in my,
You still need the frontage, right, for the drive?
So the whole lot's the frontage, so you need a waiver on the frontage. That's why it's called a cluster development,
Mhm.
because you,
right.
Yeah, give
you
them
cluster,
those
you,
waivers.
you keep your whole lot, which is 126,000 square feet, but you just put all the houses together into one lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah, so I get it, it's a challenge.
Right.
But at the same time, you know, the town wants to make 100 grand, 130 grand, and you know,
Right. Yeah, I know.
you can't expect to get 130 grand if they don't
Right.
make it fair for both
And,
parties.
you know, if you buy that land, obviously there's a good chunk of 3.6 acres, you said, taxable land. You know, that's gonna stay taxable,
Right,
even with the development of a cluster,
that's right, yeah.
so.
But I don't think that's that big a deal spread over 3 houses, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, like a 1.2 acres a house is really what you're paying taxes on.
Right, but,
Between 3
but
houses.
the assessor's office is not gonna look at the land, it's not all upland, so,
Right.
you know.
And that's the other issue.
Land.
Well, if you go through,
It's
if
land.
you go through their assessing though,
Yeah.
any lots that have wetlands are not assessed the same as their neighbor who has all the
I
driveways.
have about a half acre of wetland on
Yeah.
mine, so trust me, I know where you're
Yeah.
coming from.
Yeah.
You're still paying something on it.
Yeah,
though.
you're still paying something on it, yeah.
Trust me, I pay it every year.
But, you know, if you look at all the town values, what's a brand new, say, 3-bedroom, 2-car garage house worth? And then you have to back out the land cost.
Yep.
And if you do it as a single, it's just not gonna work, so,
No.
you know, right now I walk away losing like about 26 grand with the lawyers and the down payments. But I'm not gonna lose 126, you know? So, that's why it is a little hard. I don't know, I have Ken Buffard working on, like, he said he could probably do something really quick. And he said, I asked him if he could bang that out this week, and then I was hoping to be able to get back before we close on that date.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get something and then you get it over to us, you know, we're looking to try to do something next week as far
Okay.
as a meeting.
I'll call Ken in the morning, see if he can get it,
So-
and then I can bring the wetlands guy. too.
So if you get us something, so we can at least have something to look at, I think that's better than what you had tonight.
Yeah, and I know, well, like I said, it's been 10 days. you know.
Right, I
They give
know.
you 0 time.
I know,
to get anything
I know.
done.
So you're actually looking for a cluster because of the
Uh,
3 on the long
yeah.
drive.
Or a multi-unit building, which I know you probably don't want that, but
I think you'd have a better chance selling 3 houses than not.
I don't think so. I think some people want not to be responsible for things. So a condo, if you look at that same square footage condo in Braintree, what the cost is, then look at Holbrook, right? If you're an independent person, like a married couple, don't have kids, you want to pay Braintree's taxes, you want to pay Holbrook's taxes, and get a lot more square footage for less money. It doesn't matter to them, the school system, right? There's no burden on the town for the school. So if they can get a 2-bedroom condo in Holbrook that's say 1,600 feet and it's under 500 grand versus, right now, the new ones in Braintree is 750. You gotta look at that and say, well, if they don't have kids, they're older, they don't have kids, it's right there in the Braintree line. That's a value to somebody, you know, that doesn't want the burden of shoveling, doesn't want the burden of taking care of the land, and you have a cooperative that's paying for it. So there is actually a reason why that is successful, you know. I just don't know how good it works here yet. You don't have enough of it here.
But the thing is, with the condo association, you gotta have a well-written association plan.
I built over
You
600.
know, but for the town to understand that, it's not just gonna be an association that gets paid into and then left. and all of a
Oh,
sudden it's a
no,
mess,
we
so.
put in, we use a great attorney out downtown, and he does everything about the plowing, the
Yeah,
landscaping.
everything. It's
Yeah.
kept up to the
That,
standards.
it's not even so much the town anymore as it is the institutions that are lending the money. They want it all written out. They want it all written out.
Yeah, it's their investment.
That's right, and after '07, they're much more careful about that investment, because they all got on the hook for all those fees.
And it's probably still paying on a bunch of them.
Yeah, probably not too many anymore, but that's why it is important to have the ducks in there. You know, we have regulations on the animals, regulation on carpet, on how much square area, floors, soundproofing, everything's in there now. So I think that is an amenable thing for some communities.
So with that being said, as soon as you get a little something, you know, drawn up, if you can get it over to Deb,
Yep.
and, you know, see if, you know, it can happen before our next meeting, that'd be great.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Okay?
I appreciate your
All right.
time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Deb, do we just have to do one thing with, sign something for Old English Square,
That,
for that extension?
and then the letter here for Westdale, the money and the
Yep.
refusal.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if anyone had to sign or,
Yeah, probably would be.
okay.
So is this, is it,
Just a copy, that's just an additional copy.
all right, so there is nothing that we need to sign for the extension, oh, you have that, okay, good. Okay. Do we need to do what? Change that. Anything else? Tim, anything?
No, I'm just curious, King Road?
No. Oh, King Road,
Yeah, that
yes.
was King
Yes,
Road.
King Road, yeah. Was the gentleman coming from Quincy?
Quincy Street, no, he's trying to back out
Okay, all right,
of
okay,
the transaction.
all right. I mean, he came to us, it's good that he came to us, but, you know, he's got nothing in front of us, you know what I mean? We don't have a
What's he,
map.
what's he looking to potentially do?
Cluster of condos.
Hey,
Which-
is it zoned for that?
No, it's not, that's not gonna happen, you know? He might be able to get 2 single-family homes out of there, but I don't even know if that will, because, the people that built those other 2 houses, they tried to get more, and,
But their lots, he's in a big lot, it's like 3 acres.
right,
3.6 or so.
Yeah.
you know, but I mean, does he have the frontage?
He probably treat it like a subdivision.
Well, that's what I said.
You
He
go
wants to
in.
get more than one.
You know, and then
But
there's
there's water.
there's that
somewhere.
brick, that
Yeah.
that brook.
But I don't know if the brook, is that the only, I mean, I know
I
it's a
don't
lot,
know.
but is it dry except for the brook, or is it?
It's
I don't
it's
know.
wet up front there where you'd come in.
Is
He
it?
said it was like a pie shape, right? And then it goes to another weird piece, but the map that he had doesn't have the layout of the wetlands. So it's tough for us to say, well, what, if you're
He
proposing.
didn't have a map.
Well, he already put down 20 grand,
Mm,
you know, he's invested already.
yeah. So he's gonna try to get something scraped together, come back to us. We're gonna try to meet next week.
He's gonna close.
The 16th.
Is it
16th.
January 16th,
June.
June.
June
June
16th.
16th, yeah, they're all closing on June 16th.
So, but we'll see what happens. So, anything else as far as?
No, just, I got, You know Brian Donovan? He lives down on, what street did I say he lives on? Behind, Mount Pleasant.
Oh,
Forest, no. Roberts.
Yeah.
He lives down there, and he came in a few weeks back with some concerns about the project behind him.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And just, this is more of a heads up, I'm gonna let him know when your next meeting is, and gonna recommend he comes in, and you have like citizens' concerns or something on your.
No, but if he gets
can-
put on, if he
yeah.
wants to be put on the agenda or whatever, that's fine.
All right, what's your extension over there?
I have no idea.
All right, I'll let him know.
Because I think we're starting to discuss that a little bit. Some of the boundary issues, I think.
Yeah, he's had some issues.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of come up a little bit too,
Okay.
so. But yeah, if he wants to come to us, you know, that's fine. So, any other thoughts or anything? With that, motion to close the meeting of May 30th, 2017? All in favor?